For part 1 of the ribbon closure, you want to measure 2 inches from the bottom right edge of your base page. You're going to mark it with a pencil, and then you're going to run score tape straight across to the line. Next, you want to get your length of ribbon, and then you're going to adhere that to your score tape. You want to adhere about an inch or an inch and a half or so. And then you can put that piece aside. If you are not creating decorative edges and are keeping the top of each flap a straight cut, then follow the alternative staggered flaps part of the tutorial and skip the hinges instructions. For your staggered flaps, you're going to need 4 pieces. Your large right flap, your large left flap, your medium right flap, and your small left flap. If you're creating your staggered flaps with decorative edges, you're going to have to create your hinges separately. As you can see, the decorative edge of my flap is curved, which changes the length of the side I'm going to be adhering. And that's the reason why you need to create your hinges separately. You have to modify the length of it to fit your decorative edge. To create your hinges, you're going to need 4 1-inch wide strips of card. To figure out the length, you're going to have to take each flap and measure the edge that you're going to be attaching the hinge to. And then you can cut your strip of card to that length. Once you've cut your cardstock strip to size, you want to score it down the middle. That's a 1/2 inch. You're going to fold and crease it. And then from the folded edge, you're going to cut a 45-degree angle. So you take your scissors, again you put it along the folded edge at that corner and then cut at a 45-degree angle. You're going to do the same thing to the opposite side. And that is the exact length that you need for your hinge. And then you're just going to adhere the folded side out toward the edge to your flap. You're going to attach your large right flap to the right bottom edge of your base page. The large left flap is attached to the left bottom edge of your base page. The medium right flap attaches to the top of your large right flap along the right edge. And your small flap attaches to your large left flap along the left edge. For your decorative paper placement, you want to open up all your flaps and start with the base page. I like to cover the ribbon with tape. Your base page is 8 inches by 6 1/8. You can go ahead and center and adhere that piece. I'm going to cover the large right flap first. You'll notice that I am using 2 pieces of deco paper, but they measure the same for the large right flap. If you want to cut it in a full piece instead of using 2, you certainly can. Once you've covered all your pages except for your small flap, you want to move on to the ribbon closure. So you're going to mark from the bottom left corner of the inside of your flap 2 inches. You're going to run about 1.5 inches of score tape straight towards your mark, and then you're going to adhere your ribbon to the score tape about 1 inch or 1.5 inches. I like to tape over my ribbon so that it's sandwiched and adhered between the paper and the cardstock. And then once that's complete, you can go ahead and cover both sides with your deco paper. You tie up your bow, and page 4 is complete.